with me. I'll show you. Like, I have one longboard, right? You can see how well used that is. This board that I ride regularly at sunset was from mid-80s. George Downey put this fin in. It was a thruster, went terrible. Uncle George said, no, let me put this fin in. Let me try this. Put this fin in. Well, it goes unbelievable. Maybe the best board, so I still ride it to this day. It's like, this board, I don't know how old. This is my small wave board. I don't know how old. This is maybe 4 or 5 now. I don't know. I've had this for a long time. You just got to keep them, mate. You got to keep them. You got to keep riding them. And so my boards are so old. Let me show you. Let me get a couple of these things for you. These is an example of making stuff last. So let's have a look here. This one. I still use this all the time. Look at my wetties, mate. Can you see that? Can you see? This thing is falling apart, but it still goes. Look at this. Look at these things. This is my springies. Look at them. Look how old they are. They're 5 years old. I can get new wetties. I can get new stuff all the time if I want it. I don't, deliberately. Mate, I just ride the same things I've had for the last, they're all 4 or 5 years old. I don't get new stuff. I could, but I'm conscious in my decisions around what I do, you know, I try to be. It's just about building conscious awareness around the fact, if you believe that you are better than everything around you, because you are the gifted, the chosen, right, and you're better than it all, you might not be set up with the correct value system that respects the fact that you are it. We are our environment. We're all the same thing, and it's, you know, whether it's a tree, an animal, or me, we're all the same thing. And so I think there needs to be this conscious awareness around what we are and our engagement and our connection to what this is. And globalization has obviously failed, and that direction of consolidating things in less and less places, you know, all the media being owned by a few companies, all of the opportunities for, you know, distribution of things being owned by a few companies, that has proven itself to fail. And we need to go back the other way as far as we possibly can. And that's one of the great things they say about this whole COVID situation, is that more people have grown their own food at this point in time since 1940 or something. When people all used to, the majority of food was grown in the backyard, right? Not shipped in from 500 miles away in plastic containers. It's failed, mate. Give it up, surrender it, because it's failed. And people are starting to grow their own food, and they say that there's been a movement towards that is monumental in itself. And so just those decisions, I suppose, we need to kind of try to make and use less, consider that we are it, and, you know.
My name is Wes Carter, and I'm the president and third-generation leader of Atlantic Packaging, a company founded by my grandfather in 1946. I'm also a husband and the father of 8-year-old twins and a lifelong surfer, traveler, and outdoorsman. And I've seen firsthand the devastation caused by plastic pollution in our oceans, lakes, and rivers. Today, Atlantic is the largest privately held packaging company in North America, and we support companies in almost every manufacturing vertical, which gives us the unique ability to use our influence to help the supply chain transition away from problematic packaging that threatens our global waters. A New Earth Project is a coalition of outdoor enthusiasts, industry-leading brands, and innovative packaging suppliers, all working together to solve these problems. Because it's about all of us, it has to be. Please join us on our journey to a new Earth.
Again, one of the other things about being such a dynamic packaging company, it gives us the ability to look at the entire supply chain in a very intelligent, detailed way and make incredibly educated decisions on the products and the programs that we bring to market. And again, we welcome challenges. It just makes us better. Because my goal, I want to grow business and grow customers, and we want a healthy, profitable company, but I also want to be supporting products and programs that don't pollute this planet, you know? And to me, that's a privilege. It's a gift. It's an absolute gift to be in a position to be able to do that. And it's been the great joy of my life, outside of my family and my children, like to be in a position to be a part of what I believe can be a really, really amazing thing that our generation can do for all future generations.
We came up with two or three, I think it was three different package configurations that we thought had promise. And then we landed and we showed John two of them that, you know, we determined, hey, these are pretty good options here. They're fiber-based.
Some background on Sergio. Sergio has probably wrapped more boards than anyone else in the United States or maybe the world.
And we were sort of leaning towards one, the suspension pack. And once we showed it to him, he said, man, that's the one. I love it. I love the way it looks.
I've been working in the industry for like about 25 years. And I've been packing boards. This one's between 20 to 25 minutes.
And so then the next real proving ground is how well will it ship? And so we felt confident that it was going to ship really well. But again, we never shipped a surfboard with this type of suspension pack. So we packed up a board here. Now we did a lot of testing here too. So we have vibration, unit load testers, and we have drop testers and things like that. So, I mean, I think we dropped that surfboard in the suspension pack like 50 times with our drop tester, and it did really well. So. We felt good, but testing in real world, we try to be as accurate as possible, but the real world always has, new dynamics or, unique dynamics. So
we saw a pretty impressive change in packaging. For years and years, everybody's kind of been saying, on the surfboard side of things, shipping, there's just so much plastic and everyone's just so paranoid about how things show up. And these guys came in and kind of revolutionized how we're packaging, and the recyclability of it's pretty impressive. Not to mention the time constraints, and talking to them, it looks like the pricing's kind of right in line with what we've been doing. So we're pretty stoked to kind of move forward and kind of turn the page into the next step of shipping and being sustainable.
But yeah, so we shipped it to John in California to his shop there, and we also shipped a bunch of the packaging material. So we shipped cases of the suspension wrap or the sus wrap, as well as we shipped him the telescoping box that we had designed to go with the suspension pack. And because part of what we wanted to do was not only ship it to him to prove out that it would ship well and show up intact and looking good, but then once that happened, we also wanted to work with his guys that were packing boards to teach them how to pack it, to be sure that the guys doing the work signed off on it. So, I mean, that's one thing you've always got to evaluate with packaging. Like, it may look great, but if the guys who are actually doing the work to pack whatever it may be say this isn't efficient, or I don't like the way this functions, that can be a roadblock. So
about 7 minutes around that. People are gonna be really happy with the new products and material. Stoked with the no plastic, We're changing the game. Definitely, you guys are changing it too. This is so sick. Seriously, I'm so happy we can do this.
Well, the initial response from everybody was like, this is fantastic. We love the way this looks. It screams sustainability. I mean, I think the suspension pack is cool looking anyway. I mean, like having the surfboard suspended, in the box, with basically air on either side of it, which is nice. I mean, it's being protected by a cushion of air as opposed to a bunch of void fill, which is nice from a sustainability perspective. And it just looks good. I mean, it looks super cool. It presents the surfboard really well. So the initial reaction was, hey, we love this. And then also they really quickly picked up on, hey, there's no plastic in this package. It was like, this looks awesome and there's no plastic. Oh, this is is curbside recyclable. And then a couple of the guys keyed off on, you know what, I think that some of this packaging could be reusable. I think I could save this suspension wrap and wrap it around the board before I put it in my board bag if I'm going overseas on a surfing trip, which is something we had considered too. So, and I think that's probably true. I think the sus wrap can probably be used, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times for travel, which is nice.
This is literally less than probably 7-8 months of you thinking about how do we talk about sustainability, highlight companies, surfers who are now building their own brands and concerned for these issues, and then literally less than 7 or 8 months, you're delivering something to one of the largest surfboard manufacturers in the world. I'm assuming he's up there, right?
He's certainly one of the more recognizable brands. You know, I mean, he has a reputation for making very high-end premium surfboards, and the world champion is good enough for him, so it should be good enough for any other surfer out there.
It's here now. You're delivering this. Again, I don't want to miss this moment, which is, and here you are, everybody is, the whole team, everyone that's been along this journey, you're actually looking at a solution.
Yep.
You shipped out a solution, or at least step one, phase one of solving this problem. I mean, that's pretty monumental.
It actually crushes pretty well.
Yeah, it totally does. Can't hear you, we're packing. It's really loud, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the business that we're in, you know. It's a pretty radical transformation for surfboard packaging.
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
It crushes pretty
Yeah,
well.
it
I mean, it
does
does not take a lot of. If we had a jig where the board would stand up, one guy can do
No,
this.
to be honest, that was like way easier than the other day when I did it. There you go. There we go. We have a floating piece of magic.
You know, and it was a fun project for us to work on, not just because I love surfing and it's just fun to, you know, play with surfboards, but it was a unique product too. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, surfboard's a funky shaped product compared to a lot of things that you ship. So
The beauty of a suspension pack is a lot of what protects the board is air, which obviously doesn't have to be recycled, doesn't have to be going to a landfill.
Doesn't weigh anything.
It doesn't weigh anything.
Christmas style.
There we go.
And now we have to put it in a box.
but you know, I had a lot of confidence that we would be, you know, this is what we do. I mean, we bring in products that are having issues with shipping damage or over packaging or sustainability issues, and we re-engineer the packaging.
Boom. This is the drop test. That thing's fine. If it doesn't have a bunch of plastic, or it has zero plastic in this case, then people are going to be way happier in general, you know?
I mean, obviously packaging has to work. If packaging doesn't work, we're throwing away products, which is not good for the people making those products and certainly isn't good for the environment. So I think we've hit a really nice sweet spot here where we have highly functional packaging that's curbside recyclable. It's all fiber-based, made from renewable resources. We're gonna tweak a few things like you always do to optimize it to make it really efficient for the packers. But my sense is long-term, somebody gets really good at this, I bet they can pack these boards in 5 minutes.
Handles are insane. That's one big thing that you're always like, you get something this big and how are you picking it up? And so the easier you make it for the guy handling the shipping, the guy that's shipping it and brings it to you, instead of him like, oh God, and just throwing it out the door or whatever, if he's like, hey, great, let me just put this down for you. Awesome, there's your board. It's like that makes everybody happy.
Yeah, this board's really safe. I would have confidence shipping it anywhere in the world. The real measure will be when we ship it. I've got a lot of confidence, and if I didn't, I would say so. So this one's shipping to John, so it's got to be right. It's got to be right.
And so I felt confident that we would deliver a solution, but I was, surprised is the wrong word, but I was really, really encouraged at how well the team here hit the mark. And I can't take credit for that. I mean, it was the ingenuity of all the folks that work here at the Solutions Center and the support of some of our suppliers as well. But, you know, that collaboration came together with what I thought was a home run.
Testing. Look at this. It's the safest board's ever arrived. Can we do a test? Look at that. It's so good. Incredible. It just makes sense. It's good when things make sense. 1, it's easier to unpack. 2, it's probably easier to pack. 3, it's better for the environment, but that's a given. Sometimes I feel like you have to talk people into things that are better for the environment, but something like this, it just makes sense altogether. The boards are safer, rather than like plastic wrap and foam and messing up the rockers and things like that.
On the next episode of Journey to a New Earth.
Height is on finals day, baby.
It's gonna be really hard to do an interview with these waves. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, who's that?